Hello Summer League! So hagbungon man ta. So today I'll be tackling the 3 seconds violation in basketball. So this violation is a rule in the game of basketball that prevents offensive players from staying in the lane for more than 3 consecutive seconds when their team has ball possession. The lane refers to the painted area underneath the basket. What happens if the violation occurs? So when a player commits a 3 seconds violation, it results in a turnover. The opposing team is awarded the ball and the game continues with an inbound pass from the sideline. So players need to be mindful about not staying in the key too long to avoid giving their opponents unnecessary possession opportunities. Why is this rule important? So without this rule, offensive players, especially taller or stronger ones, could dominate the area around the basket, making the game less balanced and competitive.
So hello everyone, good evening. I am Cheryl D, Bongato, and for today's video, I am going to show you what is the 5-second violation during a throw-in situation.
In the game of basketball, you have to value every single possession. So what we're going to talk about right now is the 5-second call when somebody is guarding you. Now, first of all, if he catches the ball, if our point guard catches the ball out high and nobody comes out to guard him, he can hold the ball for the entire quarter until somebody comes up. The thing you want to watch is the official. The official will actually stand there and he will watch. If he's not guarding him, the official won't count. This guy has to watch the official. If he doesn't see a count, he can stand there and hold the ball. Now watch. Once the guy comes up to guard him, the official will start with the hand signals. He now has, first of all, 5 seconds to put the ball on the floor. If he holds it for 5 seconds with the man guarding him, it's a 5-second call. It's a turnover back to the other team. The other thing we're going to show you is, once he starts dribbling the ball, he has to attack the basket. If he just dribbles the ball back and forth across the perimeter and never attacks, that's also a 5-second call. Blake, show him what I mean by attacking the basket. He has to somehow go towards the basket or try to get into the play. Then he can dribble it back out. Then he can attack the play again. And the official will take the 5-second call off. So you want to make sure when you're handling the ball, you don't dribble it back and forth. And also if you're holding the ball, once the defense comes out, you only have 5 seconds or it's going to be a turnover for your team.
So in basketball DI guys, a 5-second violation during a throw-in situation, of course, when the team taking the ball inbounds fails to release it within 5 seconds of receiving it. And then the 5-second count begins when the team has possession of the ball, usually after it's handed or bounced to them out of bounds by an official. And if the throw-in is not completed within this time, the ball is awarded to the opposite team.
So good morning everyone, I am Batoon, Napoleon Jr. and I will be reporting the 5-second violation when closely guarded situation. So first, let me have my introduction. So in basketball, the 5-second violation in a closely guarded situation is a rule designed to encourage fast pass play and prevent players from stalling with the ball. This violation occurs when a player with the ball is closely guarded by an opponent within 6 feet and fails to pass, shoot, or begin dribbling within 5 seconds. The defender must be actively guarding the player, and the count begins once the player stops dribbling or is holding the ball. If the player doesn't make a move within the allotted time, the referee will call the violation resulting in a turnover rule. This rule helps to keep the game dynamic and ensures the players doesn't waste time without making a play. A 5 seconds violation in a closely guarded situation occur in basketball with a player who is holding the ball, is closely guarded by opponent and fails to either shoot, pass, or dribble within 5 seconds. Here how it works. Closely guarded situation. This is when a defender in within 6 feet, about 1.8 meters, of the player with the ball actively guarding them. A 5-second rule. If the player holding the ball doesn't do one of the following in 5 seconds, take a shot, pass the ball, or start dribbling unless they are already dribbling. Then, the referee will blow the whistle and call a 5-second violation. This results in a turnover, meaning the other team gets possession of the ball. The key is the defender has to be actively guarding the player with the ball. And the count starts once the player starts holding the ball, not when they're dribbling. If they're standing still for 5 seconds and doesn't make a move, the violation occurs.
Hello, and welcome back to the Officials Institute and our next segment of Rule Review. Today, we will be discussing closely guarded, a rule that is typically given less attention than other rules. However, it's actually quite important that we rule this properly because in today's game, where freedom of movement is given so much attention, we really need to reward defensive players for guarding their opponents successfully in a legal manner. So, without further delay, let's get started. In this first clip, we see the offensive team in a standard holding pattern, waiting for a last-second shot, and the offensive player in the corner holding the ball with no intention of moving until the referee starts a closely guarded count. So what should we look for when considering whether a player is closely guarded? The first requirement we look for is distance. The opponent needs to be within 6 feet of the player who is holding or dribbling the ball. But how do we measure this distance, as there's several different reference points we can use? Rule 410 tells us that the distance shall be measured from the forward foot of the defender to the forward foot of the ball handler. The last part, and probably the most difficult, is judging what 6 feet is at any particular spot on the floor. The semicircle at the division line and the free throw line are two reference points we can use to help assist us in determining a 6-foot distance. A player's height is also a good reference to use. If you think a player is about 6 feet, then imagine that player lying down and the distance it would be between him and his opponent. Even with all these reference points, it is unrealistic to believe that every official will have an exact 6-foot measurement equal to each other in every situation. So it is important that we use the not closely guarded signal to signify to everyone that we do not believe the player is within 6 feet. After the not closely guarded signal is given, another is not needed until the player comes within 6 feet, at which point you start your count. Let's go ahead and look at it again. In this play, we see the official correctly identify a closely guarded situation, and after counting 5 seconds, blows his whistle and calls a closely guarded violation. If we take a closer look, however, we'll notice as the player is dribbling trying to elude his defender, he gets his head and shoulders past his defender here, at which point the closely guarded count should be terminated. Let's look at it again. In our next clip, we see the ball handler dribbling the ball around, back and forth, trying to continuously beat his defender to avoid the 5-second count, only to have the official blow his whistle for a closely guarded violation. When we break this play down and look a little bit closer, we see here the player is closely guarded. But as he dribbles down and moves his head and shoulders past his defender, he no longer becomes closely guarded and the count is terminated. As he dribbles down and is picked up by a new defender, a new count begins, and that count will continue even though the players changed because they continuously kept within 6 feet of their opponent. However, the dribbler once again gets his head and shoulders past the defender, breaking the closely guarded count. And as he pulls up and the defender reestablishes his position, a new count again is started. And since this is a new count, it would not be possible for a full 5-second closely guarded violation. Let's watch it one more time. In this last play, we see what appears to be a closely guarded situation, yet there is no count by the official. Let's take a closer look and break this play down. As the offensive player gets the ball, the defender establishes a guarding position within 6 feet of his opponent. Taking note of the clock, it is at 5:46 when this player establishes this closely guarded position. And as the dribbler tries to move away and make a move towards the basket, the defender maintains a distance within 6 feet and does not allow the dribbler to get his head and shoulders past him when finally reaching a count of 6 before the offensive player passes the ball away. This should be ruled a 5-second closely guarded violation. Let's watch it one more time. That was closely guarded. Hopefully you find it helpful and can use it next time you're on the court. Until then, have a good game.
Shot clock violation. What is a shot clock in basketball? A shot clock is a timer indicating how much time a team has left them to field goal. Collegiate leagues like the NBA, the shot clock set to 24 seconds. The shot clock starts when the team gains position of the ball. Shot clock violation occurs if a team fails to attempt a shot within the time limit. Sign of shot clock violation includes a reading of 0.0 and a neutral board or lights on the backboard. Shot clock was introduced in the NBA in 1954 to enhance game ease and excitement. Understanding the shot clock adds to the viewing experience of the basketball. It can start after rebound, steal, or inbound pass. A valid shot attempt occurs if the ball is released before the shot clock hits 0. The shot clock stops during timeouts, foul, or violations. It receives a 24-second with position change to the other team. In some cases, the shot clock recedes to 14 seconds after certain situations like offensive rebounds. And that's all. I hope you learned something about this shot clock violation.
I'm Clark Kent Selin, and today I will be discussing basketball violations. First is the return to backcourt violation. A ball returned to the backcourt violation, also known as an over and back violation, occurs when a team in control of the ball in its frontcourt causes the ball to be returned to its backcourt. This violation happens when a player, while in control of the ball in the frontcourt, either dribbling, holding, or passing, causes the ball to go back to their backcourt.
This is an example of a backcourt violation. The offensive player, Lonzo Ball, passes to his teammate Nicolo Melli, but the pass takes Melli into the backcourt to gather it. Since he is in his backcourt when he gathers the pass, this is a violation. Note that once a player establishes position in his front court, he cannot move into his backcourt, nor may he pass the ball to a teammate positioned in the backcourt.
Next one is illegal dribbling, carrying, palming. A carrying, palming violation occurs when a player places their hand underneath the basketball during a dribbling motion and when the player grips the ball with the dribbling hand to impede the dribbling motion, resulting in a turnover.
Call 855-NBA-LPLP or visit NBA.com/league pass. And Coleman on Durant, another turnover by Kevin Durant has only got 5 points, 1 field goal.
How many times have we seen Durant catch a pass below the foul line? Once, maybe? Maybe one. Maybe once in all of the time that he's been out there. Every time he gets the ball, it's in an isolation, 6 feet behind the three.
Last one is illegal dribbling, double dribble. A double dribble violation occurs when a player ends their dribble by catching or causing the ball to come to rest in one or both hands and then dribbles it again with one hand, or when a player touches it before the ball hits the ground.
Gene's territory about this one earlier in the closing seconds. Gene?
Yeah, Jim, as Todd Jerome is bringing the ball up the court, he accidentally bumps the ball, as we can see, off with his back foot. Now, it's not touched the defender. He then repossesses this ball with both hands. That ends his dribble. Then he makes the decision to dribble again, which by rule is a double dribble. It's a tough judgment play, you know, and if Auburn touches the ball at all, it's a reset and he gets a dribble again. But that's what you're looking at here. That's a double dribble violation.
That is all. Thank you for listening. This is Clark Kent Selin.
Hi, ako si Justine Libios. Og explain nako ang usa sa pinaka-common nga violation diri sa basketball, ang double dribbling. Double dribbling happens kung ang player mag-dribble dayon nihunong og ni-dribble og balik, or nag-dribble siya using both hands. If ikaw or imong kauban double dribble, dituhan ka sa referee ug ang bola maadto sa kontra. Para di ka mo double, na once gani nga mohunong kag dribble, make sure ipasa na nimo or iitsa, ayaw i-dribble og balik. Mao dito ang double dribble means in basketball. Keep practicing and play by the rules. Once again, I'm Justine Libios from DSIT2D. Thank you for watching.
So, good evening, no? Okay. So tonight I will be talking about goaltending and ball interference. So let's start off sa goaltending. So goaltending occurs when a defensive player illegally interferes with a shot that is on its way down towards the basket. And then after it has reached its peak, or if it is already on or above the rim with a chance of going in. So ang goaltending is ma-occur siya when the ball is already held at the rim or the ring, and then imo siyang hilabtan, like naay interference sa ball. For example, is kanang mulayap ko, and then ang bola is naay chance nga musud siya or mukang siya sa basket, but naay ang opponent ako is gilabtan niya, which is gilayatan niya, and then gikuha ang bola sa ring. That is already goaltending. And now, para mas masabtan ninyo what is goaltending, I will be showing you some clips of what we call goaltending in NBA. So, yan, no? Okay, video dere. So, this game is Houston Rockets against Washington DC, I guess. So, i-play lang nato siya. So, this is Yao Ming, no? And then, Michael Jordan is attempting to make a basket. And then, what he did here is, lay up na to siya. And then, Yao Ming interfered the basket. Okay, let's watch the video. Yan na. Mao to ang goaltending. Because, as you can see man said, no? The ball is, na siya dako na chance na mo score gani or maigo sa ring man lang or ma-shot. Yes, dako siya chance na masud. And then Yao Ming here, the player katong nag-block, is iyang gihilabtan ang bola, which is naadyoy dako nga chance or tendency nga ma-score. So gitawagan siya og goaltending because what? Ano? Yes. Ang reason why is when the ball is if there's a high chance nga makascore ang bola is masud sa rim, and then na interference just like what MJ did here, and then gihilabtan, that is already goaltending. So I have another clip here where makita ninyo. So this is Golden State Warriors against kalimot ako. So yeah, let's play the video. No. So that is also goaltending because ang bola, as I've said kanina, already reached its peak. And then what the other player did here is, while naa sa peak ang bola, iyang gikuha sa ni sa babaw. Which is, dili na siya pwede because there's a highly chance nga ang katong nga basket or katong nga shot is masud sa ring. Okay? Manigi, itsa siya, no? And then, while naa sa peak ang bola, ikuha ni McGee ang bola while it's on its peak. Like, wala iyang gibuhat. So, that is goaltending. No? Punta na sa nga. And then, let's talk about the other one, which is the basket interference or ball interference. So, it is simple, guys. Mura siya goaltending, pero ang imong kauban maoy naay gibuhat. Like, sorry, for example, ako ay nag-connect sa bola. And then, I attempt to jump shot. Then, no? Then, ang jump shot na ako is naigo sa ring. Wala pa siya na sud ha. Like, actually sud yun. Naigo siya sa ring. And then, like, I don't know if kabaw ba mo like, nakakita na ba mo sa mga clips nga ang bola ni Toyok sa rim. Toyok. And then, what my teammates did is iyang gilayatan ang bola and then iyang grab ang ball and then iyang dunk, let's say for example. So that is goal interference or ball interference. So ang kuha na niya is ang basket ana is not counted because there is an interference wherein all you have to do is wait for the ball to fall from the ring or to get inside the ring to score or yana. So that is ball interference and goaltending. So I hope clear akong tingog and nasabtan na siya. Thank you.
So mayong adlaw sa tanan, ako dahil si Mark Steven Bilon and I will be explaining the cancel of play or score and substitution. So the first one is cancel of play or cancel of score. So cancel of play means mao ni ang paghunong sa duwa kadiyot katungod sa usa ka violation, error or external issue. So the common example ani kay in regards to referee timeout. So nag-referee timeout kay for example na usa ka player nga need immediate nga medical attention, or if ever the floor needs cleaning, or if the clock malfunction. So another is that the cancel of score. So unlike ganina, which is the cancel of play, ang cancel of score means a basket or point is not counted kay tungod sa usa ka violation or an error before or during the shot. So ang common example sa ni kay ang player kay ni travel siya before scoring. So ang basket ana kay na-cancel. Another one is that na offensive foul before the shot. So ang shot ato or ang score is wiped off. So the last one is substitution. So substitution basically mean that replacing one player on the court with another. In basketball, the direction of play dictates which way a team is moving the ball on the court, while the shot clock limits the time a team has to attempt a shot. Jump balls, also known as held balls, occur when two opposing players simultaneously have control of the ball, and the alternating position rule determines which team gets the ball in this situation. Then the next is shot clock. What is shot clock? The shot clock is a 24-second timer that starts when a team gains possession of the ball. The shot clock resets when a team gains possession after a jump ball, a missed shot, or a change position. The NBA uses a 24-second shot clock, while college basketball uses a 30 seconds shot clock.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today's video, I'm going to show you the proper way. So the improper way of shot clock is then the proper way is shot clock is around for clockwise. The next is jump ball situations. A jump ball occurs when two opposing players simultaneously have control of the ball, often after a statement for position. The jump ball can be initiated by a referee, or it can occur during normal play. The team that wins the jump ball gains possession of the ball starts the shot clock with 24 seconds. In jump ball situation, the alternating position rule is used in some leagues to determine which team gets the ball. The team that loses the jump ball will take the ball out of bounds at center of court to start the next period.
Where the ref throws the ball up in the air for one player from each team to contest the ball, they jump up, try and knock it to their team